Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'm going to let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shouts out to the early birds, starting with OG Maine. What's up? Boston Manny. What it do? Connie Hodge. I see you. Jesse. Chevy Addict LLC. What up? What's up? DeAndre Durham. DD. I see you. Artisan Wind Chimes. What up? Turn that cap lock off, player. Who we got here? Mara Hazel. What's up, Mara? Colorful Creations, LLC. Hey, brown skin girl. That's what I'm talking about. What up? Brown skin girl. Pete Bump. What it do? Annapolis, Maryland. Channy Riccardi. Is that Riccardi? I never saw that word. Riccardi. It's got to be Riccardi. Riccardi. It's Riccardi. I'm going with Riccardi. Okay. Samaj Smith. Turn that cap lock off, player. The Palm Rhymes. What's up, Tiffany Riley? Memphis, Tennessee in the building. Vincent Moorhead, Lady O, is WAP. What up, DeAndre Durham? What it look like? Okay, fam, going in. I'll be back in the comments in a few, but going in from now, fam. I think I got an interesting perspective on this thing. This ruling from this particular judge is a little surprising, but sometimes judges like to make moves like this. Sometimes they like to come out swinging on one side just to establish their authority, and then, they try to level the playing field, or sometimes they feel a certain way and they already got in their mind how they're going to rule, but they got to put on a dog and pony show. And, y'all know what I'm talking about, fam. These judges, personally, I think judges have too much latitude. I think the judges have way too much latitude. And that's good when you have like a person that's decent. When you have a person who's in check with their moral compass, that's good. But when you have these evil people that become judges, that's a horrible thing when they have that much power. Horrible. And we have a lot of judges who are horrible. They are horrible people. There are horrible people with black robes on. Let me put up a pic of my subject here. This is Jay-Z. So, you read the title, fam. Jay-Z's legal team has scored a small victory, really is. Well, you know what? It's not a small victory. It's a major victory. Because here's why. Because some people will say it's a small victory, but it's not. It's not really a small victory. It's a major victory because there's levels to this game. Before the judge can throw out a case, you got to first of all have the right to file a case. They got to allow you to file the case in the first place. You got to file your motion for dismissal. You got to file it. It has to be approved by a judge for you to do that before it can ever be dismissed. So there's levels to this thing. And he has secured a major victory in one of the levels, and that is just to have the right to file for dismissal. So remember, y'all, this same judge just a few days ago ruled against Jay-Z being allowed to file for dismissal. That judge, uh, Annalisa Torres, she did not like the antics of Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro. He submitted a request for a motion to dismiss uh, about 6 days ago. And the judge was like, man, get on up out of here. Judge didn't like the fact that, she says at least, the fact that uh, Alex Spiro did not follow proper protocol in filing. And something that I took exception to that the judge said was that his lawyers was being too aggressive. I've never heard in my life a lawyer being too aggressive. That's the type of lawyer I want. I want an aggressive lawyer. I think the biggest complaint that most clients have about lawyers is that they're not aggressive enough. I want an aggressive lawyer. That way I know at least they're fighting for me. I know that they're going to bed with this case and they're waking up with that case. That's the type of lawyer I want. If I got to have one, that's the type I want. I want a fighter. As I said, fam, just days ago, Judge Torres rejected Jay-Z's bid to dismiss, which accuses him of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old in 2000 alongside Diddy. Despite the setback, the latest ruling permits Spiro to formally file a motion to have the case dropped, signaling a potential shift in the legal proceedings. The victim's attorney, Tony Bugsby, opposed the filing for motion, submitting a letter on New Year's Eve to express his objections. While the latest development does not guarantee the case will be dismissed, it marks a positive step for Jay-Z's legal team as they continue to fight the allegations. The motion to dismiss the case is due by February 6th, and its outcome will be closely watched as both sides prepare for the next phase of the high-profile legal battle. As you know, Jay-Z's accuser admitted to inconsistencies in her story. The lady who filed her lawsuit under John Doe, she admitted among the inconsistencies to be that her father picked her up after the alleged sexual assault, but the father says he doesn't recall that. The woman also claims she spoke to a celebrity at the after party where she said she was sexually assaulted, but the celebrity said he was not even in New York at the time. And then you had images from the evening that shows Jay-Z and Diddy at a different location than the one the woman described, although their whereabouts for the entire evening are unclear. They had to throw that in there. Now, here's the deal, fam. I personally don't believe this accuser, and here's why. Here's why. And you know, I've had different commentary about both of these cases. You know, like with Jay-Z and Diddy. You know, we know that Diddy is guilty of beating on Cassie. What we don't know for sure is he guilty of all of these other hundreds of cases that's been filed? I say he's not guilty of all those cases. I don't know how many he might be guilty of, but I know damn well that all of those people are not telling the truth. I know that for a fact, just by how people lie and money hustle, right? As far as Jay-Z, I don't believe that Jay-Z did something like that, because it's just not, it's not his MO. He's not, Diddy has shown the propensity to be reckless, right? Jay-Z has never struck me as that type of guy. He's just never struck me as that type of guy. Of course, you got people who say, well, anything is possible. You don't really know these people, and people can be, yeah, you're right. Just like I don't know these people, you don't know these people. And these people could be totally innocent. You don't know the people that's making the accusations. They could be lying. Why automatically give people the benefit of doubt when they have the potential to destroy somebody's reputation, destroy their career, destroy their life, break up their families off of an accusation? That's it. Just an accusation. That's it. A serious accusation, but we know that serious accusations have been flat out lies in the past. We know we have we got a trove of evidence that shows us people do lie about these things. After giving the woman who got clobbered across the head the benefit of doubt, if y'all can recall, that was a woman who claimed that a guy jumped on her and these other guys were just standing around and watched, and she had a big old knot on her head, and come to find out this knot was self-inflicted. She was trying to get some attention and get paid or whatever, and she was given the benefit of doubt. I gave her the benefit of doubt, and after I found out that was a lie, I was like a whole lot slower to just believe the first thing that I hear, coming out of the mouth of people I really don't even know. So that not knowing people, not really knowing who people are, that cut both ways. That knife cuts both ways. So the woman said, the woman who is now 38, she said she was living in Rochester, New Jersey in 2000, and that she had attended the VMAs. Attending the VMAs was on her bucket list. Now, I don't know who the hell comes up with a bucket list at 13 years old. I know I didn't have one. At least I didn't call it a bucket list. I had some things that I wanted to do, but I didn't identify it as a bucket list. She says she had a bucket list at 13. And one of the things on her bucket list was to go to the VMAs. And she said, oh my gosh, all I have to do, she said, she snuck out of a window to evade her parents. Okay, that's one. She snuck out of a window. Okay, a lot of us, we've snuck out of the house. That doesn't necessarily make us bad people. That just means that we did something bad. We defied our parents. We snuck out of the house. Almost every single one of us can say we've done something like that before. Then she goes on to say, a friend drove her to Radio City Music Hall in New York City. She said in the lawsuit that people thronged into viewing areas outside the venue, which was decked out for the awards. Crowds roared when J-Lo arrived. Eminem performed on the street. All of these things can be seen. You can find documented in videos and stuff like that when these different outlets are covering the VMAs. And even when the VMAs have their own production crew covering this stuff, you can watch this stuff on TV. She said she didn't have a ticket and said in the suit, she watched some of the show on the Jumbotron outside. She also started chatting up limo drivers. She said, I'm trying to get in to try to stay back and get to an after party and get invited in and meet some celebrities. This is what she told NBC News. Y'all follow me, fam? Because it's about to get very interesting. It's about to get very interesting. She said one limo driver said he worked for Diddy and that she fit what Diddy was looking for. This is according to the lawsuit. And he told her to return later and he'd take her to an after party. After about 20 minutes in the limo, she said in the suit she arrived at a large white residence with a gate U-shaped driveway. She said in the suit she signed a document that she didn't read. Inside, she told NBC News, I'm talking to like Fred Durst, Benji Madden about his tattoo, because about his tattoo, that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background, so it was just something to talk about. After accepting a drink from a waitress, she said, I started feeling funny. Tried to start looking for a place to lay down. She found an empty room with a bed in it, she said in the suit. And soon after, Diddy and Jay-Z and a woman entered the room. You are ready to party, Combs said, according to the suit. Both Combs and Carter RAP'd her, she said. Jay-Z came over, holds me down. I start trying to push away. He puts his hand over my mouth, tells me to stop, to cut the SHIT, and then he RAPs me like he had me overpowered, she said. Afterwards, she said in the suit, she managed to flee the house and ran to a gas station. I was upset, and the person at the gas station could tell that I was obviously upset, and she let me use the phone. I called my dad because he was the only person I trust at the time. I told him I messed up and I needed a ride home. This is what she told to NBC News, y'all. She said, we rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was. She told NBC News she never told anyone about the alleged assault or wrote it down in a diary. Even if somebody found out, who was going to believe me? I mean, it was their word, my word, against two celebrities. The years after were hard. I got severely depressed. I withdrew completely. My grades started slipping, and she dropped out of school, she said. Fam, let me stop right there. Let me just stop right there. Let's talk about human nature. We've all been 13 before. If you're over 13, you've been 13 before. Okay? So let's stop right there. Let's consider human nature for a minute. Let's just think about human nature. Of course, we don't know this person, and people mature at different rates and all of that stuff. But we don't know this person. But this girl sneaks out the house, leaves Rochester, New York. Okay? Y'all follow me? She leaves Rochester, New York for Manhattan. Rochester to downtown Manhattan is a 5-hour drive. She wants us to believe at 13, she was savvy enough to sneak out of her mama's house, get a ride 5 hours away in an entire different city to a party, to an awards ceremony, randomly hop into a car with a limo driver. She's looking to jump into a car with anybody at this point to go to an after party. She goes to an after party. She is given some drinks. She finds herself out of it. She comes through, she's lying in a bed in a random room inside of this mansion. And some famous guys, starts to touch on her and sexually assault her. family, let me ask y'all something. Let's get out of the emotional side of it and let's stick with human nature. For a young woman to roll like that, to move like that, does that sound like somebody? Even at 13, I get it that you can't consent, right? You can, even at 13, you cannot consent at 13. I got that. You cannot consent. So if a grown person mess with a kid at 13 years old, they're supposed to go to jail. I got that. But are you telling me that this person was savvy enough to sneak out of the house, hitch a ride 5 hours away to another city, go to an award ceremony, hop into a car purposely? She said she wasn't tricked. She said, this is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to have some fun. I'm looking for an after party. She hops in the car with a random person. Oh, before she hopped in, the limo driver said, yeah, you're just what Diddy's looking for. She hops in the car, go to the after party, take a drink, go into a random room in the house to lay down, wakes up to being sexually assaulted, and somehow, some way, she was fighting him off. She fought him off. She was fighting him off. She was resisting. Does that sound like somebody? I mean, does that sound plausible to y'all? Does that even sound plausible? Let's take the emotions out of it. Let's take the feelings out of it. Does that sound like every single woman? How many women right now watching right now? Women. Let's take the men out of it, because y'all can say that something wrong with us. We crazy. We off. We don't understand. Women. Does that sound plausible to you? Let's say you heard that of a 13-year-old girl, that behavior. Do that sound plausible to you? Does that sound like something you would do? If you were, not saying that you are that type of person, but if you were the type of person that was savvy enough to sneak out of the house, go 5 hours out of the way to another city, hitch a ride 5 hours to another city, jump into a limo with a random guy, go to a party, have some drink, you buzzing, wake up to some guys on top of you, and you decide now, after you did all of this stuff, this is where you're going to stop at. This is where you draw the line. Does that sound plausible? That doesn't sound like human nature to me. When people move like that, they've already decided, like she has decided. Remember, fam, she was calculating. Everything she did was calculating. So why is it that she can't be calculating when the guys, when she decides to get to the part where she's violated? Why is that not calculating? But everything else she did was calculating. But now she get to this part and that ain't calculating. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that happened. I do not believe it happened. I don't believe it happened. So regardless of what I think of Jay-Z, I would not want to see that man, or even Puffy, regardless of what I think about Diddy, I would not want to see that man get accused of something he did not do. I would not want to see that man end up doing time for something he did not do. I'm not that jealous of a person. No matter what somebody have, no matter what I look at and see how they living and how great they're living, I'm not that jealous of somebody, what they got going on, that I would want to see them fall like that. Being accused of sexual assault is, don't get me wrong, man, that's one of the most egregious acts that somebody could commit. That is very egregious. And it's something that I'm absolutely not with. But I'm also not with all this lying, these made up stories. These inconsistencies. I got me a troll. Let me get this troll right quick. See you. Go somewhere else. The inconsistencies. If somebody accused you or your loved one of something like this, and they had these type of inconsistencies in their story, would you think the story was plausible? Would you say, you know what? No, it don't matter. It don't matter. She said it, so it's got to be pursued. Send them to court anyway. Make them go through court anyway. No, this shit should have been thrown out. As soon as they discovered those inconsistencies, the case should have been thrown out immediately. It shouldn't even be going on right now. This case should have been thrown out. These are major, these are not small little details. These are major details. She said her daddy drove from Rochester, New York, 5 hours to Manhattan, New York, and picked her up from a strange house, a mansion, and drove her back to Rochester, New York in silence. Even if she didn't tell her daddy what happened, who amongst us would forget that our child called us out of the blue and said, I'm stranded. Can you come pick me up? I'm at this house at such and such. And we drove 5 hours to go pick him up. Hell, we remember if we got to drive 5 minutes to go pick up our kid, especially when we wasn't expecting to pick him up. If we're not expecting to pick our child up and they call us out of the blue, can you come pick us up? We gonna remember that because we didn't have that scheduled. We didn't have that planned. We didn't plan to go, hey, man, I'm over here chilling, man. I'm in my drawers. I'm in my drawers scratching my balls. And you calling me to pick you up? I got to go put on clothes. And I was sitting back watching the game. I was chilling, whatever you do, smoking a cigar on the patio or whatever, chilling, but, I'm over the homie house, wherever. You calling me out the blue. I wasn't supposed to pick you up. Now you calling me saying, Daddy, come pick me up. I would remember 5 minutes. But 5 hours, oh, that's etched in memory forever. Ain't no way I'm coming to pick you up 5 hours away. And don't ask you what's going on. I'm going to ask you what's going on when you call me with that nonsense. The whole way I'm driving, all I'm thinking about is my child. What's going on? What's the word? What's the deal? When I get there, okay, what the hell is going on? What is this? I need to know. So that's one. Her daddy don't remember picking her up. 2, she said she had a conversation with Benji Madden. Benji Madden is a rock star. She said she had a conversation with him about his tattoos. So this ain't just a random person. This is a celebrity who says, man, I wasn't even in New York at that time. What is she talking about? So she done made up a whole conversation she had with a guy about some tattoos that was not even there. That's 2. Okay. The 3rd one. She says that the 2 people who she is claiming assaulted her, Jay-Z and Diddy, the 2 people she said assaulted her, they wasn't even at that location where she claims she was at. That's the biggest of all. They wasn't there. If you or I or accused of a crime, and we provide an alibi, the greatest being we was not there. If we can prove we were not there, case closed. It's over. So why the hell has this case not been dismissed? Why has it not been dismissed? I'll tell you why. Because it's Jay-Z. That's why. Because it's Diddy. That's why. That's why. So as much favor as a celebrity might get because of their celebrity, they also get punished because of their celebrity. They also get mistreated because of their celebrity and get bogus charges upheld against them because of their celebrity. I ain't never gonna be that mad at a person's success. I'm never gonna be that jealous of somebody's success. Well, I want to see them go down like that for no reason. Jay-Z is a polarizing person because he represents different things to different people. And success always comes with critics. For some people, it's jealousy. They can't stand seeing a black man rise from the projects to become a billionaire with status and move with the same clout as America's elite. And it ain't just others. It's people within their own race that look at them and say, look at that mother. He shouldn't have that. That ain't how we move. We can't have stuff that we can't have that much money. We can have some money, but we can't have that much money. If we have that much money, we have to be a part of the Illuminati. We got to be evil. We got to be dirty and clean if we have that much money. But they never have that same type of energy for others. They look at other people and be like, well, they're supposed to. They never had that much venom, much vitriol for Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk. In fact, a lot of them praise those guys because they think they're supposed to have it. Those guys do evil shit, and a lot of us overlook it because we think that they're supposed to be able to do that type of stuff and get away with it. How you gonna hold your own people to a standard that's unachievable, but give others a pass? So you got other people that don't like Jay-Z's business acumen. They don't like his moves, like when he partnered with the NFL. The critics felt that, he undercut Kaepernick's stand for personal gain, even though Jay-Z said, we're past kneeling, it's time to act. Y'all remember that? He said, we're past kneeling, it's time to act. I can respect both. I can respect both point of views. How long we gonna kneel? Because it don't matter how long we kneel. You ain't finna stop the NFL. And people ain't gonna stop watching the NFL, including the people in your house. Including you. You're not gonna stop watching the NFL. Even if you don't plan to watch it, you'll be there watching. Somebody gonna have a Super Bowl party and you going. I protested for 3 years. I was protesting. But I started back watching the games. Just like everybody else. The NFL is so big it owns a day of the week, Sunday. Then you got the crabs in the bucket mentality. Some folks can't help but pull others down when they climb too high. I remember when Jay-Z was ascending to the top, he couldn't do no wrong. Everybody was just rocking out to his music and loving what he was doing. The moment he started making big billion out of those $100 million deals with Tidal and some of the other things that he got involved in, that's when it really started coming. You got other people that hate Jay-Z for evolving. Jay-Z went from hustler to mogul, leaving behind the street life. And not everyone can accept that growth. But here's the truth. Jay-Z is a calculated man. He plays chess in a game where most people are stuck on checkers. So whether you love him or hate him, he's a blueprint, like his album, for breaking barriers and rewriting the rules. That kind of power will always make people uncomfortable. A lot of Black people are uncomfortable with it because they're brainwashed and they don't even know it. They're being brainwashed by the coverage that Jay-Z get. A lot of this coverage that he get that is negative in social media and stuff, that narrative is being pushed by corporations that have ulterior motives. And they ain't never tried to make Black people look good. So the bigger a Black person is like, give me. Then all of a sudden, let's get it back. Let's get that money back. Let's try to get it back. And you might be able to hold on for it for a while. But if you start rising and you rise up like a peacock, like you got a spine, you're gonna run into some problems. You got the Jay-Z, some people, they don't like Jay-Z because of what happened with Dame Dash. That fallout. It was a result of, to me, it was a result of differing visions and priorities as their success grew. That's the way I saw it. Of course, I wasn't there. I wasn't on the inside. I think sometimes two people can be right. One person can be wrong. One person can be right. Sometimes two people can be right, but they see things or their experience, the way that they perceive things are different. I don't know. From my experience, Jay-Z is a good guy. From my experience, Dame Dash is a good guy. I think some people are more invested in their fallout than they are. In the early days of Rockefeller Records, that tandem team of Jay-Z and Dame was unstoppable. Jay-Z was the artist and Dame was the businessman mastermind, with a bold, in-your-face approach. And together they built an empire. But as Jay-Z's career skyrocketed, their paths started to diverge. Jay wanted to align with corporate interests to expand his brand globally, while Dame preferred to keep things independent and true to the streets. When Rockefeller was sold to Def Jam, Jay became president and tensions grew over who controlled what and how decisions are made. And that, my friend, happens more often than you can ever imagine when it comes to business. People, like in relationships, in romantic relationships, sometimes grow apart. And that's sad when it happens to real, true friends, because I thought that Jay-Z, at least, from my vantage point, I thought that Jay-Z and Dame were like true friends that were unstoppable. Like I could never even see them ever falling out to the extent that they've fallen out. But ultimately, it came down, in my opinion, to different leadership styles and visions for their future. So One could argue that Jay was playing the long game while Dane was focused on staying true to the roots, So, but I'm going to tell you this, there's no denying both men played a major role in shaping hip hop culture. But sometimes even great partnerships, as I mentioned earlier, outgrow each other. Respect due to both of them for what they built together, even if they couldn't stay on the same page. A lot of times people pick sides, and, that's fair. People tend to relate to one guy more than what they relate to the other guy. And sometimes you do have a bad guy and a good guy. Personally, I just don't know enough about because I never talked to either one of them about their personal thoughts and what happened with their situation. And quite frankly, I don't even want to know. I'm good with knowing just as much as y'all know. I'm cool with that. I wish both of them the best. But I ain't never going to be that dude that's, so envious or so jealous of anybody, especially another brother, that I want to see him go down. If he go down for something, as egregious as saying somebody, that's different. You get what you get if you do that. You get what you get. I'm just saying that I don't believe the man is guilty. And I do know that if y'all care about the law so much, some of you who care about the law so much and riding so hard and so convinced that he's guilty, if you care about the law so much, I don't understand how you can be cool with those inconsistencies in old girl's story. That lets me know you're a hypocrite. That lets me know that you're not really concerned about justice. You're really not concerned about being righteous. That ain't what you're concerned about. You just want to see a black man go down. You just want to see a brother go down. And that's the truth. When you ascend to the top, when you come from the Marcy projects, when you get it from the mud like that, which so many of us have had to do, we didn't have a trust fund. We didn't have, mama, daddy, investing in us, have 5 stacks, 20 stacks, 100 stacks to invest in our dream. When you get it from the mud like that, success shouldn't bring on that many enemies. Success shouldn't bring on that much hate. Most of the people that's talking down on Jay-Z, they're talking down based on emotions. They ain't really got facts. They just talking down saying, I don't, woo, 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 just based on the fact that they just don't like the dude. That shouldn't be enough. The fact that you don't like the dude shouldn't be enough for you to persecute a dude behind an allegation like this. Because I'm going to tell you something. Anybody can be accused of something like that. I didn't say anybody can be guilty of it. I said anybody can be accused of an allegation like that. Yeah, you got a lot of people that's got the same type of energy for Beyonce. They hate Beyonce's guts. I'm going to tell you, fam, when mainstream America hates you, I love you. only because I know mainstream America hate me. They hate what I stand for. That's what it is, fam. They hate what all of this pull yourself up by the bootstrap stuff is a lie. They don't really want you to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. They don't really want you to make something out yourself. Envy plays a large role. Jay-Z's wealth, influence, and unapologetic confidence rubs them the wrong way. That's right. So let me tell you something, fam. When you're a black man in America, mainstream America don't want you to have a spine. They want you to be the type of dude that'll put on a dress, put on some lipsticks and some earrings. They want you to be the type of dude that will allow another man to grab your junk and you don't do nothing about it. They want you to be the type of dude that ain't got no type of aggression, no type of get back in you, no type of spine, you know. They don't want you to have, they want to take all the aggression out of you if you're black and you're a male. They want to take all your aggression away. And it's black males out there that help perpetuate that because they look at black men who do have a spine and who are unapologetic, who are unapologetically black, and they hate that too because that ain't them. But they hide behind criticizing that black man that got that spine because when they talk about him, it makes them look good to massa. See, they doing the work of massa. So it makes massa feel good. So massa give them a little money, chunk them a little money. Keep it up, boy. Good job. Pat him on the head. Good job, boy. Get him again. Get him again. Because massa ain't got the spine to go get him. Massa ain't got the heart. And plus, massa know that if he go out there and say something, he gonna get called out for what he really is. That's why they hire people like Charles Barkley, so that they can say the things that they can't really say because they can't get away with it. But if we let a black person say it, what they gonna do? They can't call the black person racist. So yeah, they don't like Beyonce. But they ain't got no choice but to deal with her because she got too much clout. She got way too many fans, way too much opportunity, way too much power. And they don't like that. So they got to make up shit. They can't find really no flaws. So they got to make up something. And anytime, if you say anything that sounds just a little, any kind of little thing that may be a statement that's made that could go a different way, they're going to take it in a different way if they can try to make her look bad. A lot of people also don't like her because they tired of hearing her name. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that she got all of these people, so many people that are fanatics, people that's crazy about Beyonce. They don't like that. Just like they didn't like it that Michael Jackson had that. They didn't like that. They didn't like that Michael Jackson effect. So Beyonce got the Beyonce effect. They don't like that. Like that dude, I don't even know who the dude was, but some white dude was talking down on her after her performance at halftime for the Texans on Christmas Day. Let me tell y'all something. If it wasn't for that performance on Christmas Day, if it wasn't for Beyonce's performance on Christmas Day, that would not have been a performance from Houston on Christmas Day. That's the best we was able to do. It would have been nothing to watch. It would have been nothing for us to celebrate. And y'all can talk all that talk about how you didn't like the performance and woo, woo, woo. Who you know that would have done it better? I'll wait. Who you know who could have done it better? I'll wait. Even if you can think of somebody, you can't think of you ain't got but a handful of people who can compete. I'm talking about really compete. I ain't talking about you can just show up. I'm talking about who can lay it down, who can bring the heat, who can make it interesting. It was the most interesting halftime Christmas performance I ever seen. Now, what about you? Well, Willie D, you just biased because she from Houston. And you're damn right I'm biased. I'm supposed to be biased. That's the home team. But what's gratifying is she don't need my help. What's gratifying is she dope all by herself. She dope. And you can't take it away, no matter how you try. You can't take it away. The bee, baby, the bee. And you can't touch the beehive. You ain't got a more loyal fan base. The beehive. And I'll tell you something else too, fam. If I didn't know Beyonce personally, if I didn't know her personality, what type of person, I'm talking about the type of person she is. I'm talking about, let's get rid of the music. Let's get rid of the dance and let's get rid of the fame. If I didn't know her before that, during, I probably would be, I don't know, I might be indifferent or I might not ride as hard for her, but I know the type of person she is. And she is a better person than y'all can even imagine. Y'all don't really know her, but she really is a kind-hearted person. She a good person. You know, she is a kind-hearted person and she treat everybody as an equal. She treat everybody. Now, professionally, ain't nobody no equal, so she ain't supposed to treat everybody like equal. But I'm talking about as a person, as a human being. If Beyonce meets you, you're going to feel her presence because she's going to treat you like you special. She treat everybody with class and dignity. Everybody. She was like that well before they started selling records. And I saw her maintain that as she took off. And I like how she carried herself. I like how Jay-Z and her, how they maintain their privacy, how they guard themselves, because they have to. You got uncivilized mutts all over this country trying to bring them down. So they got to guard themselves. They got to be protective of their kids. We sit back and we watch everybody else's sin and we just look back and we just accept it. But when certain people from the Black community ascend to the top, we get up there, our goal be like to bring them down. So those people are fighting the system and their own people at the same time. And oftentimes, when they are out there in rooms trying to stick up for us with our slow asses, we in rooms trying to tear them down. We in the chat rooms trying to tear them down. Everybody that get up there, they don't deserve it. Everybody don't deserve it. I got that. Everybody don't deserve it. But I have not seen any proof where Beyonce and Jay-Z don't deserve all the success and acclamation. Or let me back up. All of the success and credit and praise that they've received. I haven't seen any evidence that can prove me otherwise. That's right. Yeah, that's right. A lot of y'all voted for a Klansman. Y'all say Jay-Z ruined people's careers. Who's over Jay-Z? Who running the show over Jay-Z? Do y'all even know who's over Jay-Z? No, but you focused on the black man. Who over at the top? Who at the top of that pyramid? Y'all don't even know the name of that person, and you know he ain't black, but you ain't got nothing to say about him. You ain't got that same energy. You ain't in the chats talking about him every day, trying to bring him down. Them people out there fighting, they fighting them people just like you fighting them. They just fighting them on a different level. And they fighting your ass. Who else making records on her level? Who else making records on Beyonce's level that has substance? Maybe you don't like everything you hear, but she got social commentary in her music also. It's not just, she make the music. You got to make the fun stuff. You got to make the entertainment stuff, strictly entertainment stuff, for people to just, have fun and all that stuff. But she also have a message in almost all of her music. Who else out there on her level that's got social commentary in that music? Who else is out there jumping on the biggest stages in the world and making political statements? Not just saying, hey, vote for such and such, but also make a whole performance, do a whole performance about addressing what's going on in the country today. Who else is doing that? So that's the stuff that's going to stand the test of time. And it's going to outlive the criticism. I can guarantee you when people look back, they're going to be like, psh. The music with the social commentary always lasts the longest. And they always become more endearing than the people who just make party music. And ain't nothing wrong with party music because you got a party. Everybody like a party. Who don't like a good party? But I'm talking about that music that stand the test of time. That music, it's that stuff that hits you in the chest. That is what's going to stand the test of time. That's going to hold up longer than all that other stuff. That's why people still playing that GB. That's why they still rocking out the Ghetto Boys, because it's got that social commentary, that socio-political commentary. It ain't just, oh, we just kicking and we just having fun. We ain't just talking about the chopper in the trunk. We telling you, I got a chopper in the trunk. But just remember what's going to happen when you get stopped by the police with that chopper in the trunk. Your ass going to prison for 10 years, and that's fed. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all for joining the live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. A few more shout outs before I get out of here. China Carter, what up? Black Davis, boy, what it do? Life. Marvin C. Thompson, what's up? TJ. YB. Who was that? Cole, what up? That's right. Them folks get y'all every time. When they want to bring a black person down, let me tell you how they do it. They always started with the media. They start the media propaganda. They start the media propaganda machine, and they just systematically put out stories to try to make them look bad. Now, for the slow pokes who don't know how to think, don't understand the psychology of how this country operates against black folks, you fall right into the trap every time. Right into the trap every time. Just like all these black people fell into the trap of thinking Gaddafi was our enemy. Muammar Gaddafi was a friend of the black people. He was a friend. He was a better friend than any president we ever had, including Barack Obama. But they started a propaganda campaign, and they went out and they killed that man. And when they killed him, nobody said anything. There was no public outcry because they made him look like a villain to the extent that they made us think if they killed him, we would be better off. And they do us the same way with our leaders and our heroes and our celebrities that ascend to the top. They do the same thing even with our activists. They do the same thing. They've been running the same play forever, and they still running that same play. And some of y'all who think you're so goddamn smart still fall for the same okie doke move time and time and time and time again. In fact, you fall for it so much, you pick up the ball and you run with it, and you start putting out hit pieces on them more than what the establishment puts out on them. Damn shame. That's my time, fam. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.